Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. As we told you last week, that was the last full week of South Atlantic Conference play in the month of January. Now we're into the final week of January, and this weekend we'll get cranked up with a lot of different sports that are going to be taking place, with baseball getting underway down in Aiken, South Carolina. LMU softball team scheduled for play in the next week or so. I don't know that that's going to happen, but at least right now it is still tentatively on the schedule. Men's and women's basketball teams in the thick of the South Atlantic Conference race, and LMU tennis and golf are right around the corner. And today we're going to talk with Benny Collins, head coach of the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's tennis programs, about the 2014 season, about what we can expect from the ladies and from the Railsplitters. And then we're going to talk a little bit later on with Josh Schertz, head coach of the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team, currently in the driver's seat of the men's basketball race throughout the South Atlantic Conference. And that's all coming up tonight on the Railsplitter Athletics Report. We'll be back after this.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available, including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Hard to believe with the weather we've been having throughout the tri-state area lately, but believe it or not, tennis is right around the corner, and Benny Collins and his Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's teams have been preparing for the upcoming 2014 season. Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rusty.
I got to ask the million-dollar question. With all the snow we've had, how do you prepare for the 2014 season when you're not able to really get out on the court?
Well, there for a while we were able to get out on the courts a little bit, and as the snow and ice come and all the bad weather comes, when the temperature drops below 32, we're not allowed to practice. So we took a trip to London, Kentucky. We took a trip to Knoxville, Tennessee, played indoors, got some indoor time. I try to really look at the weather for the week and try to project when we can get on the courts, and when we do get on the courts, we try to utilize every second that we can of that time.
When you're able to go practice on an indoor facility and it's not really conducive to do so outside, obviously you get the opportunity for the swings and the repetition and all that and the workout itself, but in reality the overall conditions are not going to be the same as what you're going to face in the early season with the cold conditions outside. So while you get that practice, you still got to deal with that X factor, which is the weather.
Which is the weather. You're right, exactly right. One thing, tennis players, the ball don't bounce well when it's cold. There's a lot of factors in it. They've got to really be loosened up to hit this ball, and cold weather is not conducive to playing tennis.
Now, I got to ask you, typically throughout the past, our baseball teams have kind of been an example of this. The kids from, say, Puerto Rico or South America don't tend to play as well in the colder weather. Is that the case in tennis as well?
You know, we've got kids from Brazil. They do not like the colder weather, and I've got a guy from Ireland. He don't like the cold weather, so I don't know if it's a factor or not. They seem to get used to it. You know, once you get out there and you properly dress and you sort of get brought into it, I guess they get a little better. But I tell the kids this. When the teams come up here from South Carolina and play, they're not used to it. We're used to it. It gives us a little edge if it's cold. I like for the teams from down south to come play us, and I like for a little colder than normal. We do well. They struggle a bit. They don't like it.
Folks, you have no idea really sometimes how much the conditions in which you play become a factor in the contest. I mean, for instance, when we go to Lenoir-Rhyne in basketball, John Lenz, the head coach of Lenoir-Rhyne's men's team, actually turns the heat up, and they call it the inferno or the furnace or whatever it is. But it can make for miserable playing conditions when you're just pouring sweat out your body. On the other end of the scale, you've got, you know, being outside playing in cold conditions, and as Coach Collins has already alluded to, when you're coming up from South Carolina and temperatures on the average are anywhere from 20 to 30 degrees warmer, it does make a difference sometimes. And hey, you know, every advantage is there. It's something that's not able to be controlled, and if the schedule dictates that you play here or there, then you're just going to have to adjust and hope that you can make that adjustment in an effort to win that match. Coach, I know that following 2013, we had some losses. We've talked about those. Philip Hoffman, one of the graduates from the men's program, probably the most decorated player ever in LMU men's tennis.
I could say that, yes.
And that's a big loss to this program, but ultimately you have to move on and you have to put that team out there and compete.
Well, you know, we lost Philip, and we brought in an Irish kid. He was one of the top juniors from Ireland, and he's come in and played pretty strong. He went to the ITA regional in the fall, and they put him in the B bracket. They didn't have any ranking on him, and he actually won the back draw in that ITA tournament down there. So he's really a good player, and he's going to play in the top of the lineup. He's going to be a good doubles player, and he's going to stiffen the lineup. Plus, we have senior leadership this year on this team. We have 5 seniors on this team. These guys have got a lot of experience. When I talk to them about what they think, their explanation to me is, hey, Coach, we have a lot of experience, you know, and everybody's hitting the ball really hard. These guys have gotten stronger, bigger, faster, and they're really hitting the ball well. So we'll be very, very competitive.
You told me a couple of years ago during the recruiting process when you were able to sign Will Sparks out of Knoxville that you felt like he was a really quality signee. Last year he came in, performed well for you. In the off-season coming into this year, he's bulked up a lot. His strength is much better. He hits the ball well. How much has he improved on the court since last year?
Will Sparks has raised it to another level. And, you know, if you watch him in the weight room, this guy goes in that weight room every day and hits it like it's his last day on earth. He's the first guy at practice. He's the last guy to leave. You know, he's our leader. He sets an example for us each and every day on the court, off the court, in the weight room, and everything about it. You know, if every athlete works as hard as Will, we'd be in good shape.
Well, the men will be defending their 2013 title, and that is the second conference tournament title that the Railsplitters have taken in men's tennis since Coach Collins took over the helm of the program. The third tournament, or the third title, I believe, overall. They took a regular season title as well in one of those years, but nonetheless, they are the defending SAC champions, and that all gets underway, what, February 8th?
February the 8th, we start off with the University of the Cumberlands. Our first conference match is March 1st with our old buddy Tommy Arnett and the Tusculum Pioneers.
Well, Tusculum, of course, a program that has much improved facilities. They're on the upswing in many sports. Some they're struggling with right now, but guarantee that it's going to be a fight anytime you take on Tommy Arnett's team. All right, let's turn it over to the women's side. Obviously, last year you were undergoing a process of where you had some high-end players out there that were leading the program. You competed well. You lose those players, and we've got some B-roll footage here. But you had a good signee in the Russian young lady that came in. This year, however, you brought in a whole slate of people, and this may be the strongest upper end to middle lineup that you've had since taking over the program.
I think this is the strongest ladies team we've ever fielded. You know, we lost Leah Dunoff, which was a marquee player, and we brought in 3 new players. We brought in a girl from Canada, Priscilla. She is very, very strong, and we brought in Roxolana from Ukraine, and we also got another girl in at the break in January, Gemma Goodland from Australia, and she is a big-time player. She's really hitting the ball well, big, strong girl, and has a really nice game. And we're going to be strong from 1 through 6. you know, at number 6, we're going to have probably 2 seniors playing at number 5 and 6 that's played for 4 years. And this women's team is to deal with this year. They've got a shot at running the table, going all the way to the finals, winning it. I mean, they can do it. They've got the personnel, the skill, and the talent.
Now, Coach, I know that we've had the opportunity to probably talk about this with you over the last few months, but the SAC's recent decision to lift the scholarship restriction won't affect some sports, but that's not going to be the case for men's and women's tennis.
That's not going to be the case. It will definitely help us. You know, our men's tennis was at 2 scholarships, and that's going to go up to the maximum for the NCAA to 4, 4.5, whatever it is. The women's going to go, we're at 2.67. We're going to go all the way up to 6, and you know, this is going to be in increments to get there. But when we get there, it's going to make the recruiting process a lot smoother.
Folks, imagine having to field a men's and women's tennis team and having 2.5 scholarships to do it with, and you're competing against programs that or other leagues, for that matter, in the region that give 6 per sport, and still we're going to the NCAA tournament. Now, if you're giving the same scholarships on an even plane that they are, well, you look at it then and see what the ceiling would be in that, and obviously that's the sky's the limit. So that's going to make a big difference for you. The women, when do they get started, Coach?
Same time, February the 8th. We start February the 8th. Our first conference match is March 1st with Tusculum, and you know, I'm looking for big things out of both programs. I think the ladies has a real shot at winning. The guys don't. You know, I mean, they got a shot at winning. You know, we're down 1 player from what we had last year. We're a year stronger. We've got people back in the lineup that couldn't play last year from injuries. We've got 2 young men back in the lineup, and they're playing really well. I mean, they are really hitting the ball good. So I'm excited about both teams. You know, I think we've got a shot to win it again.
Great to have those players, those marquee players up at the top spot, maybe even the top 2. But when you can put them at 1, 2, 3, 4, folks, you've got a match that takes 9 wins for the entire match, but only 5 to win it. So if you can take 5 out of 9, then you're going to come away with a lot of victories in a season. If you've got the 1, 2, 3, and 4 spot in singles, man down, very strong, that also carries over into the doubles play, and obviously that's going to make a big difference.
You know, we always start out with the doubles first. You have 3 doubles matches, and you know, we're going to field 3 good doubles teams on the men's side and the ladies' side. We've got a chance to win all 3 of those double matches, 2 out of 3. And if you do that, you go into singles. You just have to win 3 singles matches. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're strong in all positions on both teams, so we've got a real chance to make something happen. You know,
Coach, we want to give you the best of luck for the upcoming season. We'll be talking with you throughout the 2014 schedule. We got Coach Schertz coming in here next. I'm going to see if he's got any eligibility left to play for the men's program. We'll see if we can get him out there on the court.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Schertz was a really good player in his time. Now, he was a great tennis player.
In his time, that was the key.
In his time.
In his time. All right, Coach, thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you, Rusty.
Benny Collins, the LMU tennis program. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with Josh Schertz here on the Railsplitter Sports Network.
Top off at mycokerewards.com.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
I will help families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients.
As a prosecutor,
I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Josh Schertz joins us in studio now, and for the Lincoln Memorial University men tonight, they'll be on the road over in Brevard, North Carolina, when they take on the Tornadoes of Brevard College. That's an 8 o'clock tip-off. Railsplitters will go into the Tornadoes' house and hopefully blow it down with a 15-1 record, 11-1 in conference play. After a little bit of limited action that took place on Wednesday evening that wasn't shut out by the storm that came through, the snowstorm, LMU has a 2-game lead on Anderson, but a 3-game lead on some of the rest of the pack. And there you see the SAC standings. Coach, obviously we're in the driver's seat right now, and as long as we take care of business, it's ours to win or lose.
Yeah, there's a long way to go. We, obviously we talked about that. It is up to us, and as long as we do what we want to do and are able to play well, certainly we won't need any help or rely on anybody else. We kind of control our own destiny moving forward. But there's a long way to play. I mean, with 5 weeks left in the regular season and 10 games ahead and all the challenges, it gets away. I was thinking about it last year. We went into the final 6 games of the regular season down, a game, plus we lost head-to-head with Anderson, had to go to Wingate, Anderson still. So we were a game and a half back with 6 to play and won the league by a game. So there's a tremendous amount of time left, a lot of games to be played, and we just got to kind of go in, take care of business, play great, and focus on the task at hand, which is tonight an extremely good Brevard team.
Very good Brevard team, in fact, and one that runs the Princeton offense. I look at some of the games that you've got in the next week or so, and this one, Brevard on the road, obviously difficult because of the style of play they have. They're struggling a little bit in their overall record and their conference record. You return on Saturday to the Tex Turner to play Coker. Then next Wednesday it's Carson Newman. The following Saturday it's Newberry. A very tough stretch here, and this one is one that kind of concerns me because as an 18 to 22-year-old kid, it's easy to look ahead at those other 3 games.
Yeah, well, you need to kind of take care of your business and focus task at hand. And our guys been pretty good about not getting ahead of themselves, and understanding that you got to play every possession in conference. You got to lock in on who you're playing, and certainly we're going to get a great shot from Brevard. They scare me to death because of their ability to shoot the 3, and they're much better at home than they are on the road, and they're just a matchup nightmare. They play really 5 guards out there, so we're going to have to be really turned up to play and be honed in from a scouting report standpoint and execute well offensively to have a chance. And it is a short turnaround. When you're playing 2 games in 3 days, Coker presents a totally different set of challenges, and now win or lose, you're going to have a 1-day preparation for a good Coker team here that's, I think, 9-7 going into tonight's game, and has had beaten 2 nationally ranked opponents this year already in Carson Newman and Benedict. So they present their own deal, and with a 1-day prep, that'll be difficult, and then you follow it in with next week, and next week will be as difficult a week. We had a real difficult week when we went to Anderson and hosted Wingate. Next week, going to Newman and hosting Newberry will be as difficult, I think, as that week was back here in early January.
As well as things have gone for you and your program this year, this week presents its own individual case of difficulties. I know that when you and I spoke for the pregame, Laquan Choice was kind of being hampered by some flu-type conditions and so forth. That's something that typically runs its course in and out of teams, in and out of athletic programs every year, and that's been the case this year for this program.
Yeah, we hit maybe the game being pushed today was better for us. Luquan will make the trip today. He practiced yesterday, so that's a positive. You want to be at full strength if you can. We're still missing C.J. Wakely. That's been a kind of a longer deal than we thought, and hopefully he's back and cleared here soon, and we'll be at full strength. But yeah, you just hope it doesn't spread, and that's the biggest thing is to, when somebody does come down with the flu, is to, in our situation, get them quarantined and keep them away from the team until fever goes away and symptoms go away, and then kind of reacclimate them. But Lou went yesterday, so he'll dress and come on the trip today, and he's feeling better, and so hopefully we'll be at full strength. But that's a big thing this time of year, injuries and illnesses and things, and you got to keep your fingers crossed. That's part of luck is staying injury free. We've had trouble with that in years past. Hopefully luck's on our side here in 2014 with us staying healthy down the stretch of the season.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but C.J. Wakely, as much time as he's missed on the court this season due to that hand injury, he still played in enough games that he couldn't possibly get a medical red shirt. Is that correct?
Right. He's one game ahead of where you need to be. Now, it could slide back. You know, it's one of those things potentially we could look at. You know, depends how many games we wind up playing, but I think you need to play 6 or less, and he played 7. So we had that with Dustin Craig one year. Dustin played 7. We applied for a redshirt year for Dustin to play this year, and it was denied because he played 7 games. So, you know, it's just kind of the nature of it, unfortunately. You got to play 20% or less, and with 30 games, you know, there's a certain amount of games you take that risk. But hopefully CJ's back. I mean, he has missed a long time, but it's one of those things, if he can reacclimate, you know, maybe by the end of February, going into the postseason, at stretch run of the regular season, he's playing at a high level for us.
All right, let's go back to Brevard tonight. Obviously, when you and I talked in the pregame, the Princeton offense is one that's difficult to prepare for in that, as you mentioned in that pregame, for the most part, our guys have to kind of unlearn what they've learned defensively all year, and they're going to have to change the way they defend the Tornadoes tonight. Yeah, well, the Princeton offense is designed, without getting too technical, designed to get 3-point shots and backdoor layups. And normally, you know, we're taught we play high on the floor and try to take things away. The Princeton offense takes everybody above the free throw line and opens up backdoor opportunities for layups. We've got to go from, you know, jumping towards the ball and being high on the floor, terms we use, to basically standing in front of your guy. And, you know, you got much more limited help responsibilities. We got to take away the open threes. We got to take away the backdoor cuts. We've got to make them make challenge, tough shots tonight. But if you're seeing them getting backdoor cuts, that's a breakdown from a scouting report standpoint. If you see a guy getting wide open threes, you know, that's a breakdown from a scouting report standpoint. So, but, you know, they put pressure on there. They're a great offensive team. He does great stuff. And then on the other end, they bring a matchup zone and do some things with switching that can cause problems. We've got to be super aggressive, attack them, and off the bounce and off the catch. We got to get the ball to paint. We got to be. I thought we've done a good job the last 3 halves of scoring the ball. The second half, Mars Hill, and the 2 halves against Catawba. We've got to do the same thing in terms of playing aggressive. When they're running the Princeton offense, and you said already that they're a lot of times they'll have basically a 5-guard lineup out there. Does that limit how much we can exploit the size of our inside game? Well, it depends. I mean, that's the crux of it. You know, I've got to kind of see that. I mean, obviously, anytime you're playing 5 guards versus 2 traditional bigs, it's a mismatch on both ends. They can't get any bigger because they'd only play guards. They don't have any true bigs. Alex Motor's ACL is the only true big on their roster. So we got to see, can KP and Vinny guard out there? Or do we need to play with a more mobile 4-man like Kurt McMillan and Paul Woodson around 1 big? Or do we need to even go where we have like Kurt Webb and 4 guards around 1 big? I think that will be the adjustment we got to see as we go in. What's the best way to defend them? What lineup is being the most successful? So we're going to start normal with Keenan and with Vinny. If we can guard them and obviously come down on our end and exploit the interior. But what you can't do is have KP getting driven by, giving up open threes, and then come down and we're not being aggressive inside, and we're shooting, bailing them out with fadeaways or jumpers. So it's got to be on our end. We got to be able to sit down and guard, and KP and Vinny got to do that. On the offensive end, those guys, every time they touch it, have got to be working to get angles down there, working to get it in tight, and going to the basket strong, trying to get layups and fouls. Yeah, I guess from my standpoint, I was looking at it more, even though they run the Princeton offense, if they're running 5 guards and they're quicker up and down the floor than our bigs are, will that take our bigs essentially out of the contest? But as you've already alluded to, I mean, Curtis McMillan has no problem getting up and down the floor. No. He runs the floor well. Vinny, for the most part, does as well. You've got Paul Woodson does that as well. So really no issues there. We'll just the adjustments are the key issue. Obviously, an 8 o'clock tip-off tonight. Real quick, we've got about a minute left. You've got Coker on Saturday. This will take place along with Carson Newman before our next show. 2 huge matchups in the next actually 3 huge matchups in the next week or so. Yeah, huge stretch for us. You know, you look at these things in segments, and certainly 2 out of 3 on the road. You're playing a great Brevard team. Come back. Coker Saturday. Need the crowd here on Saturday night. Hopefully create a great atmosphere and help us as we hit this stretch. And then obviously got to go to Holt Fieldhouse, which, you know, I don't know if it'll be the hardest game we have this year, but it'll certainly be the most emotional we've played so far, just to what it means to both teams and the rivalry and those things. So looking forward to a great week. All right, we've got a lot of other action this week as well in the South Atlantic Conference. No time to real talk about it now, but I'll get to that when we come back from break. Coach, best of luck tonight. Best of luck on Saturday against the Cobras. And, hey, Carson Newman next Wednesday. I know there's a lot of folks talking about making that trek down from Harrigan and surrounding area over to Jefferson City.
We always get great support down there. Appreciate it. See everybody on Saturday and hopefully Wednesday.
All right, good luck.
Thanks, Russ.
All right, we're back after this. We're going to take a timeout. We'll have more to talk about in terms of LMU athletics right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Stay with us.
I deal with life and death situations.
We touch a lot of lives every day.
People's lives are in your hands.
I will be a nurse.
I will be a nurse.
The Duncan School of Law at LMU, where innovative teaching meets cutting-edge technology.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
We represent the Coke brand, and we would love to somehow bring some kind of legal action against Coke Zero.
There might be some taste infringement issues.
There's really no legal concepts of a company bringing a lawsuit against itself.
If this is the king of the jungle, they're acting like the toucan that's on the branch, real colorful and preening, and showing off, and hey, look at us. I want to take a stick and knock that toucan off the branch.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. One of the area's best-kept secrets when it comes to piping hot fast food is World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center. No matter whether it's chicken tenders, chicken wraps, burgers, or hot wings in a variety of flavors, WOW has a menu that's second to none. Try one of our fantastic sides like our fried mushrooms, fried pickles, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, our famous cheese fries, sweet potato fries, or our Texas toast. Shock your taste buds at WOW World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Before we close things out tonight, let's give you a look at some other things around the South Atlantic Conference. First of all, games of interest tonight, Tusculum at Mars Hill. Coach Schertz likes possibly Mars Hill in that one. I like Mars Hill in that one. The Newberry at Queens game, if Clyburn, the big inside power forward, is out, his pick is Newberry tonight. He believes that Wingate gets Coker in a tight one. And then, of course, I think we all hope that LMU takes Brevard tonight, and certainly that should be the way it goes. Women's South Atlantic Conference standings, if we have them, maybe we don't yet. Yeah, there they are. There you see Wingate, top of the heap right now. LMU actually defeated Wingate here at home, so they're in the top spot at 9-3. Lenore Ryan, Carson Newman in the 2 spot. LMU right now in the 4 position. Hopefully they'll move into a tie for the rest of that tonight. Then Coker, Anderson, Newberry, Catawba, Brevard, Queens, Mars Hill, and Tusculum really struggling in basketball this year in both men's and women's. Folks, we want to remind you that the LMU baseball team will get cranked up this week as well. February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, they are on the road down in Aiken, South Carolina to open the 2014 season. Railsplitters defending South Atlantic Conference champions, trying to defend that title after losing 11 position players from a year ago. They'll have their hands full this year when they take on a nationally ranked Pacer baseball team. And again, that's a 3-game series over 3 days. That's all the time we have for tonight. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. For everybody behind the scenes, good night, everybody.